Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Deuces, and today I am going to talk about the number one question in the community. Well, not the number one, but probably one of the most acclaimed statements about Naruto is that Sakura is useless, and I wanted to make this video today to talk about that. Now, I am going to kind of agree, but only towards the beginning of Naruto, and that would be PTS Naruto, that Sakura is kind of useless. And I feel like it was during that time is when is the whole Sakura is useless thing started becoming a thing, and then it kind of just, you know, since everybody was doing it, everybody just kind of kept doing it even till nowadays. And it's really annoying because Sakura is someone that has received such character growth that I don't think she warrants the title of being useless. You know, maybe if we're talking about PTS Naruto, like the original Naruto series, no Shippuden, then yes, I completely agree, she's useless. All she does is pretty much cry and hide behind the rest of Team 7. Like in the Zabuza arc, all she did was protect Gato, or was Gato the bad guy? Well, she protected the old man that was making the Great Naruto Bridge, or what would there become the Great Naruto Bridge. Then in the arc after that, the Chunin exam arc, she has a battle of the minds with Ino and then gets a tie. So technically she lost, but technically she won. I mean, it's a draw, and she was the only draw in the Chunin exam arc, which kind of just makes you roll your eyes a bit like, oh brother. And then her fight is easily the most boring. Like Tamari, at least we had that moment of hype where Tamari might do something, you know. We didn't know Tamari during the Chunin exams. Like, she came out with all these ninja tools and started talking all this smack, and then Tamari just slapped her like nothing. Like, we didn't know that was gonna happen until it happened. But freaking, you know, at least that gave us a bit of excitement. Like, we got to see a new character do something. Sakura's been in the show since the beginning, and the Chunin exam arc is just embarrassing. Like, she doesn't do anything. Then the arc after that is the Sasuke retrieval arc, or, you know, they fight in the hospital before that, and Sakura just tells them to stop, but can't do anything to make them stop. So once Sakura does that, we then move on to the Sasuke retrieval arc, or the Sound Ninja 4 arc, which she's not a part of at all. She's only there during the beginning, once again crying to Naruto to have him go bring Sasuke back. And I believe it is then and there that it is the final moment of Sakura's weakness, because we even get, you know, like, she even tells us, the crowd, like, or the audience, that she's tired of being useless. She's tired of sending Naruto and Sasuke to do everything. She wants to do things on her own, and upon that, she seeks apprenticeship with Tsunade, which is given to her. And I believe it is her apprenticeship with Tsunade that really makes her into the woman we know her today, because after her training, she is not useless at all. And when I see people say nowadays that Sakura is useless, it's honestly really freaking insane to me, because currently, as I'm speaking, like if I'm speaking from modern day times, like from Boruto's standpoint, I believe Sakura is the strongest female in the Naruto universe nowadays. And even if I don't include Boruto, like in Shippuden alone, do you guys realize that Sakura is the first person of Team 7 to catch a win in Shippuden? Like, I feel like that isn't given enough props. Like, oh, she was controlled by Danny Chiyo. Yes, but she had the stamina and the strength to make the perfect puppet, right? Like, she had enough stamina to make her perfect. She could run around and move as much as she needed to while being controlled by Chiyo's lines. She had all the strength in the world to absolutely smash Sasori's fucking puppets. So he had to change his whole fighting style because of how strong Sakura was, which is absolutely insane, because last time we seen Sasori, he had just finished removing the Jinchuriki from freaking Gaara. Or was, yeah, it was Sasori, because Deidara drops off Gaara to Sasori. So literally, also Sasori drops Kankuro at that point, who at this point in the story we believe is the strongest puppet user, until we realize it's Sasori, or technically Chiyo, or a tie between the both. It's really the difference between puppets, and Sakura comes out with the win. Like, Sakura smashes an Akatsuki member. The first Akatsuki loss is to Sakura. And I feel like that's not mentioned enough. And way too much clout is taken because Chiyo helped. That's all she was some help. But then again, you know, aren't the puppets helping Sasori? Aren't, you know, isn't Lord Joshing helping, you know, everyone has their help. Everyone has their thing that they use to help them in battle. It's not cheating to have Chiyo, you know, it's very strategic and tactical actually. So for you to discount that fight would be pretty stupid. And then on top of that, Sakura, the rest of the show has shown that she's not only grown like as a person, but also grown some heart, because even though it was a really stupid moment later on in the series where she tries to go out and get Sasuke on her own, you know, old Sakura would have never done that. Old Sakura would have cried behind Kakashi and Naruto to go out there and get Sasuke, but she was actually up on her P's and Q's and went out there to fight Sasuke and try and bring her back himself. Though he was about to murder her ass, you know, it's still the heart and the guts it takes to do such a thing, to confront someone you've loved your whole childhood, you know, your childhood friend that ran away, and to go back and try and get him yourself after so many years of running away from it, and everyone knowing that you love this man, and everyone knowing that you feel some type of way about the situation, and you finally go on your own and do something about it. Like, that's really freaking cool to me, man. Like, they just, that, even though she could have gotten banged up and a lot of people call it a stupid choice, I think for Sakura it's very befitting of her character. So while, you know, some people may think that is a stupid thing for her to do, you know, she's fighting the top criminal at that time during the 5 Kage Summit arc, she's also trying to do something on her own without Naruto, without Kakashi, and she's trying to take things into her own hands, which is something I could respect. That's something she did not have the strength to do beforehand, and now she has, you know, an overwhelming amount of strength to do so. So I really liked that about Sakura. Other than that, the real big moments we get from her that showcase her growth, besides towards the beginning of Shippuden, is the 4th Great Ninja War. You know, she's one of the top medical personnel in the whole war, as Tsunade is with the other Hokage fighting the fighting Madara, as well as Obito, as well as Zetsu's. Like, you know, Tsunade has her hands full, and leaving things in the hands of her apprentice was something that was freaking amazing. Like, she knocked the job out of the park, eventually leading to probably her biggest moment in the Great Ninja War, standing side by side with pretty much the gods of the show, you know, Sasuke and Naruto, who are, you know, descendants of gods, Indra and Ashura, and she's not an ascendant or descendant of anything special. She's all hard work. She busted her tail to learn freaking healing. She busted her tail to learn all this power. She's the only member of Team 7 that's all homegrown talent. She didn't have a hereditary ability like the Sharingan. She didn't have a beast in her stomach. She's all hard work. That is why I freaking respect Sakura so freaking much. And on top of that, she's standing side by side by 2 gods. And she's putting in her own amount of work. She's the greatest healer in the army during that war. The absolute greatest healer. She was even able to bring out the slug, which is capable of dispersing itself into millions of little slugs and healing as much people as she needed. Like, she, in that one arc, or I guess in all of Shippuden, to be honest, she really became a goated character in my eyes. Because much like Rock Lee, like, people like to talk about Rock Lee, no one ever talks about Sakura's hard work. Like, yes, Rock Lee has no chakra, and Sakura does, but that doesn't take away from all the hard work she's had to put in to get to where she's at. And for people to just shit on that completely and call her a useless character, like I said earlier, if it was PTS Naruto, early days Naruto, I completely agree. But if we're gonna talk about from today's standards, especially, you know, if we're talking today, as in Boruto, where she's probably the strongest female in the whole show, nah, man, Sakura is not useless at all. As a matter of fact, in my opinion, Sakura is actually quite overpowered in Shippuden after. Like, in Shippuden, including Shippuden and after, I mean. Like, Sakura is an absolute beast. Anyways, that is about all I have to say about that. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. As you guys know, I love discussing with you guys. Anyways, this has been not S. This is X Deuces. And I will talk to you guys next time.